Leeds fans, stop scrolling right now. Elland Road just erupted with breaking news and the pressure is reaching critical levels. We are just 1 point above the relegation zone. 3 stories are breaking tonight. Daniel Farke has launched an attack on the fans. A key defender is facing an injury crisis on international duty. And a £25 million striker target just signaled he wants a January move. The entire club is balancing on a knife edge. But here is the first payoff. The quote that has Elland Road absolutely furious. Daniel Farke officially called the fan base very emotional after the loss. He is testing the patience of the exact people Marcelo Bielsa worships. If you bleed white and believe marching on together is more than just words, smash that like button right now. We start with the crisis in the manager's office because the damage might already be irreversible. A manager at Leeds United doesn't just manage 25 players. He manages the expectation of an entire city, a city that breeds this club. Daniel Farke seems to have forgotten this. The situation at Elland Road is officially toxic, and the blame is being pointed directly at the manager, not just for the results, which are horrendous, but for his words. The pressure is growing. Leeds are doomed in a relegation battle, sitting just 1 point above the drop, and Farke's time is running out. He has fed the fans excuses all season long, blaming everything except his own tactics. And he has offered little gratitude for the continuous, unwavering support. Support that travels the length of the country. This is where the shadow of Marcelo Bielsa looms larger than ever. Bielsa understood the passion. Bielsa never, ever overlooked the Elland Road faithful. He was truthful, he was honest, and he praised the backing he received even in defeat. Let's look at the facts. On February 6, 2020, Bielsa said, quoted on the club's official website, "Our supporters never damage our team." He understood. He even attended a Leeds fan event in October, long after he was sacked, giving back to the supporters, signing shirts, respecting the bond. Bielsa was sacked in February 2022, but he left with a 47.65% win ratio and the adoration of the fans after promotion. Now, compare that legacy to what Farke is building. After the devastating 3-1 loss to Nottingham Forest, Farke didn't take responsibility. He didn't protect his players. He attacked the fans. The quote, reported by journalist Bjorn Cross, is damning. Farke said, "The fan base is very emotional. Everyone doubts us after every loss." This wasn't the first time he's had a dig at the fans, and it certainly won't be the last. Leeds is a club built on unity. The motto isn't just a suggestion, it's an identity, marching on together. Bielsa got it. Farke, it seems, does not. When things were rosy in the championship, Farke was happy to praise the support. But the moment the Premier League pressure arrived, the moment the cracks started to show, he didn't take responsibility. He pointed fingers at the stands. He is now facing the most crucial period of his entire managerial career, and every word he says is vital. If he had opened his eyes, if he had seen the fans the way Bielsa did, there might not be so much animosity surrounding his name. But the damage now seems irreversible. He looks doomed. Do you believe Farke can survive this? Or is it time for the 49ers to make the change before Christmas? Drop your verdict in the comments. And if you think the fans deserve an apology, hit that like button. But the chaos in the manager's office is bleeding onto the pitch. And now we have a major update on a key defender that Farke is watching very closely during this international break. When the manager is fighting the fans, the last thing he needs is a crisis of fitness. Daniel Farke is watching the international break with binoculars. And one name is causing extreme concern: Gabriel Gudmundsson. The 26-year-old left back has been a key player for Farke this season, but his fitness has been a massive concern. On November 13th, news broke that Gudmundsson missed training with the Swedish national team. The reason? A concussion. This is the update that certainly caused panic back in LS11. Farke is already under immense pressure, and losing his first-choice left back, even with his recent form, would be catastrophic. Several Leeds players left Elland Road for international duty, but the 49-year-old head coach is keeping his closest eye on his left back. The good news, or perhaps worrying news depending on how you view concussions, arrived on November 14th. The Swedish outlet Fotbollskanalen reported that Gudmundsson, after missing the group session just 24 hours earlier, has already returned to work with his teammates. Farke will undoubtedly have mixed feelings about this. He needs the player, but returning so quickly from a diagnosed concussion is a major red flag in the modern game. Let's be honest, Gudmundsson has struggled massively in recent matches. He was described as particularly horrendous in the 3-0 defeat away at Brighton on November 1st. But he remains Farke's preferred option. The German manager has a quality alternative on the bench in James Justin, who is versatile and can play left back, but Farke continues to select the Swede. This isn't his first fitness scare. Remember the match against West Ham United on October 24th? In that crucial 2-1 win at Elland Road, Gudmundsson was forced off just before halftime with a separate fitness issue. He has started back-to-back games since then, but the fans in LS11 are worried about his durability. His situation will be monitored closely. Meanwhile, Gudmundsson is fighting for his World Cup dreams. Sweden were woeful under John Dahl Tomasson and he was sacked. Graham Potter has now been appointed on a short-term basis. They are fourth in their qualifying group with just 1 point from 4 matches. But they top their UEFA Nations League group, which gives them a potential playoff spot. They need wins over Switzerland and Slovenia. Gudmundsson wants to be part of that. But does Farke want him risking injury for Sweden when Leeds are fighting relegation? Is Gudmundsson's rapid return from a concussion a sign of toughness or recklessness? If you were Farke, would you start James Justin in the next match regardless? Let us know who you prefer at left back. The defense is walking a tightrope. But you can't win games if you don't score goals, and Leeds are one of the lowest scorers in the entire Premier League. That's why the next story, a January transfer target, is the solution we've been waiting for. The defense is shaky, the manager is fighting the fans, but the real reason Leeds United are 1 point above the relegation zone is simple: we cannot score goals. The Whites are one of the lowest scoring teams in the entire Premier League, finding the net just 10 times in 11 matches. This is the statistic that dooms teams to the championship. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has been unreliable. Lucas Mecha, despite finding the back of the net in the 3-1 loss to Forest, has not proven he can be a consistent performer in LS11. And Joel Pirro, the man who led the Peacocks to the championship title, looks to have dropped completely down the pecking order under Farke. It wouldn't be surprising to see Pirro push for an exit in January himself. Leeds need a solution. They need goals, and they need them in January. Now, a name from the summer has resurfaced, and this time, the situation has changed entirely. The player, Daizen Maeda. The 28-year-old Celtic forward was linked heavily with Leeds United in the summer, back when Farke was staring at Premier League promotion. At the time, Maeda himself expressed his willingness to stay at Celtic. But now, things have changed. According to the Daily Record, reporting on November 12th, Celtic are actively preparing for Maeda's eventual departure. They are identifying replacements. Why? Because the Japan international is reportedly eyeing a move away from Parkhead in January. This is the opportunity. The door for a potential switch to Elland Road is wide open, and Leeds must walk through it. In the summer, Maeda was valued at £25 million. But now, with the player actively willing to leave in January and his contract expiring in 2027, the Hoops may be ready to accept a reasonable bargain offer. This is the kind of deal that saves a season. We need to look at his numbers last season at Celtic: 51 appearances in all competitions, 33 goals scored, and 12 assists. That is prolific. That is the kind of firepower that changes a relegation battle. While Maeda has mostly played on the left wing in Scotland, he is versatile. He can play down the middle, he can play on the right. But the most important thing for the West Yorkshire outfit is his killer instinct. This is the solution to the goal-scoring worries. Is Daizen Maeda the missing piece? Is he the striker who can keep Leeds United in the Premier League? If you think the '49ers need to pay whatever it takes to get this deal done in January, smash that like button. 3 massive stories. A manager at war with the fans, a defense held together by tape, and a striker who could be the savior. The implications for the season are terrifying. 3 stories. 1 fractured club. The manager has disconnected himself from the fanbase, calling the Elland Road faithful emotional in a moment that echoes betrayal. A key defender is returning from a concussion under a cloud of doubt, highlighting the fragility of our entire squad. And a January transfer target, Daizen Maeda, has emerged as the only viable solution to a goal-scoring crisis. That is dragging us back to the championship. This isn't a slump. This isn't a rough patch. This is a battle for the soul of Leeds United. Daniel Farke is facing an irreversible tide of animosity. Marcelo Bielsa proved that unity between the stands and the dugout is the fuel for this club. Farke has poured water on that fire. The 49ers are now watching a manager who has lost the fans, a defense that is 1 injury away from collapsing, and an attack that has only managed 10 goals. The 3-1 loss to Nottingham Forest wasn't just a loss, it was a warning. Teams like Forest are pulling away while we are sinking. This international break is a moment of reckoning if FARC cannot mend this broken relationship, and if the board does not sanction the move for a prolific goal scorer like Maeda. Relegation isn't just possible, it is a certainty. The club is broken, but the fan base remains. Here's what I need from every single Leeds fan watching this right now. 1. Smash that like button if you believe the absolute #1 priority on January 1st is signing Dayson Maeda or another proven Premier League striker. 2. Drop a comment with your single biggest priority. Is it FARC out or Maeda in? What saves this club first? 3. Subscribe. We are marching together, and every subscriber sends a message to our rivals that we will not go down quietly. But listen closely, here is the edge of the cliff. The FARC situation is worse than reported. A rumor is circulating that several senior players are deeply unhappy with his emotional comments, feeling it put unnecessary pressure on them. A players-only meeting is rumored to have taken place without the manager's knowledge. The dressing room is divided. That decision on his future could come before the next match. And on top of that, we aren't the only club watching Dayson Maeda. Everton, who are also desperate for goals, are rumored to be preparing an official inquiry to Celtic. They might try to agree a deal before the window even opens, leaving Leeds in the dust. Which domino falls first? FARC's job, or our chance to sign our top target? That story drops next. Marching on together, the battle is here. Hit subscribe, stay locked, and let's make the Premier League bleed white. We ride together. See you in the next war.